Hey, what's everyone? Happy Friday! Welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show. We have a full house today. Derek, I see you in the back. Welcome, Derek. How are you doing today? Oh, I don't think you can hear me.
Derek, yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm just getting the lighting sorted.
All right. There we go. Love it. I know it's like, it's 8 p.m. right now at your time? Or like a little later in the evening, right?
Sorry, one second. I'm just getting my sound sorted.
I don't think you can still hear us, but we have blue sky. Looking forward to the show.
Yeah.
Colin Larry, howdy, yo. Oh, yeah, Derek.
There we go.
Love it. Welcome. Good evening to you. It's like a little later today, right?
Yeah, it's nearly 8 o'clock. So.
Nice. Thank you for coming on this Friday afternoon.
Welcome.
Friday evening. You're not out in the bar or club or anything?
No.
You're not out partying?
No, I'll give that a miss. Yep.
All right, James Boyd, happy Friday. Welcome, everyone. Don't forget to... Today we have Derek Booth, and we'll be talking about PPC for SEO. This is a topic that I have a lot of love for. I mean, I've been doing PPC for just as long as I was been doing SEO for all the corporations I've been working at. So this is going to be interesting. I haven't had someone come in and talk about PPC here for SEO. So this is going to be a great conversation. Love it. Thank you, Derek. And Derek does have a new, it's a workshop, or it's a new actual course that's coming out, right? Is it a course or it's an actual workshop?
Yeah, so we've got a live course that's coming out, and it's starting on Wednesday. So yeah, just a few days.
Nice. So. We'll be talking about that today and getting some, we'll have a little masterclass for today for PPC for SEO. And if you want to actually dive even deeper, be sure to check out the live course. If you want to use a discount code, check out the live chat or in the description for Dre 750 for $750 off. That's a very generous discount. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Oh, you got to do it, haven't you? You got to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You got to bring the discounts.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. We got about 4 more minutes to go. You see Derek in the live chat. Hey. Don't be shy, guys. I see a bunch of you out there.
Yeah.
If you guys are just tuning in, we have Derek Booth, and we'll be talking about PPC for SEO. Marcus, hello. Hi, guys. We got a very energetic crowd today. Albert Brown, happy Friday.
Yeah, I think I'm all set now. I think I'm good now.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to roll. To roll.
Bring
the fire.
There we go. We have less than 3 minutes to go. Big Sky Studios, happy Friday. I think I hear my puppy barking. Let me be right back. If you guys be sure to say hi in live chat. I'm going to be back in like 20 seconds and see why my little puppy's barking. I'll be right back. Yo, Ernesto, what's up? Oh, yeah. Less than 2 minutes to go, guys. Get your shouts out and questions ready. Again, be sure to ask questions throughout the live chat. This is a conversation, and I'll address them in the order that they are received.
Yeah, I thought you were leaving me then. I thought it was me doing the show then for a minute.
If you're just tuning in, we have Derek Booth, PPC for SEO Masterclass. Get your questions ready. This is going to be a great topic. Something I love doing, both PPC and SEO.
Hey, time to get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show, where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released within the past week. And it's about 1 minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest. And my guest today is Derek Booth. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Homework Hacks, Derek, Ernesto, Albert, Marcus, Colin, Larry, Andrew, James, Big Sky. Welcome, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, what kind of fruit do SEOs like best? Low hanging.
All right, so some quick news from Google. Google is expanding the options for merchants to provide shipping and returns information, even if you don't have a Merchant Center account. Merchants can now tell Google about their shipping and return policies in two distinct ways: by configuring them directly in Search Console or by using new organizational level structured data. For more information, be sure to check out Google Search Central. Stefan, what's up, my man? Now let's get on with the show. Before we do, here's a word from our sponsor. Your traffic is vanishing and AI search is the reason why. Hi, I'm Paul Andre de Vera, a 20-year SEO pro, and this is how I beat AI in its own game. Answer engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity are all replacing Google results, and your organic traffic is disappearing. No links, no attribution, just lost visibility. Right at the moment, people are deciding what to buy. These answers shape the buyer's journey, but you get zero traffic and zero credit. So how do you stay visible even when search engines stop sending traffic? I use Profound, the only tool built to help brands in AI search. I used to spend hours optimizing for rankings. Now I optimize for answers, and Profound tells me precisely what AI is talking about my brand. Profound gives you answer engine insights. See where and how AI mentions your brand. Agent analytics. Track how often AI crawlers visit and use your content. Conversation Explorer. Discover what real users ask AI before they buy. And shopping visibility. Boost product presence in ChatGPT shopping. If you're not showing up in AI answers, you're out of the conversation. Start now before your brand disappears from the buyer's journey. Be sure to click the link below and try Profound.com to take back your brand's visibility.
Derek has been coding for over 38 years. He's been in online marketing since 1998. He's been listed as one of the best SEO influencers of the year in 2017. He's a speaker and instructor. Please welcome the founder of Clean Slate SEO, Derek Booth.
Derek, my man, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yes. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. All right, Derek, this is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on the show. In 1 minute or less, how does Derek get ranking on page 1 of Google?
I would cheat a little bit and I'd do pay-per-click for sure. I'd definitely set up a search campaign, absolutely, and I'd be up and running in no time. If this was an SEO question, I'd definitely choose a long phrase, a long tail phrase and I would hammer that with some press releases and some internal linking, and I think that would do it at a pretty quick time. But PPC is definitely the way. Definitely the way.
Love it. First knowledge bomb of today. Hold on, let me rewind this real quick. All right. Take us way back to 1998. How'd you first get into SEO?
I used to be a programmer in a CCTV firm, and part of that was working on websites and working with Internet Explorer and Netscape Navigator, and the signals from the CCTV camera would be sent through that browser, and then that would go on to the guys in the control room dealing with the alarms for the CCTV. And then one day someone says to me, do you want to build some websites? And I was like, oh, well, yeah, cool. But what's the point of a website? This is really back in the early stages. And then, I started building a website, started doing a little bit of marketing. Someone said to me that they could do stuff online better than a sales rep could. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So from building the website to then doing a little bit of marketing, working with a web position gold way back then, doing a little bit of Google Dance with all the meta keywords and doing all of that. I thought this is a lot more interesting and a lot easier than doing the programming. So that really caught me interest. So way back then, that's when I sort of first started. A lot of people were still on ISDN lines and US robotics 48K modems. That was when I sort of first started. So yeah, it was good times.
Love it. Brought it back with Netscape Navigator. Wow, that's some time ago. All right, so how'd you actually learn it then? How'd you learn SEO?
Just by watching other people, really. We started with Web Position Gold, and there was a couple of people in the office where I worked, and we played around with things. And then once we started on Alta Vista and we saw how things worked, it was something that together we just started having a look. What if we do this? What if we do that? And then, oh, that's good, because you can just put loads of keywords in, and we've got this tool that's out that tells you to do this and that. So I thought the tool really isn't that great. All it actually does is say, do this, and then you just pile it full of keywords. So we absolutely piled it full of keywords, and we were like, wow, this really does work. There's something going on here. So from then, it was a little bit of trial and error, even in the early days. And once you see your site ranking, and once you see things happening, and then when phone calls would come in from the website in those early days, I was like, holy smoke, there's something here worth having a look at. This is good. So yeah, that's
Web Position Gold. Wasn't that like a submitter, like a directory submitter, or did it do stuff like that? Or was that one?
No, I don't recall it doing the submissions.
Oh, okay.
It may have done, but I don't recall it being about the submissions. It just basically told you what to do. So it was a bit like, put your keyword in here, put it here, do that. You've got these other keywords, and it wasn't really too complicated. In those days, it was just one of the early ones. So yeah, we just went from that, and yeah, pretty good.
Love it. Calling Larry says USR shotgun modem. Use 2 phone lines, double the speed. Wow.
Yeah, the company I worked for, I used to do like remote work. So they actually installed ISDN lines at my home. So I had the 264K. So I had the 128K dual ISDN lines coming into my home. So I was doing the remote support. And at the time, that was fantastic because I'm a gamer as well. Okay. So I used to play Rogue Spear on the PC, on the dial-up. And because I've got twin ISDN lines, my connection's way fast. Oh, I'm the king of Rogue Spear, I'm the best. The best shooter in town.
Oh man, love it. Welcome everyone. I want to. Who else did you follow? Anyone back then? Was there anyone that you are actually following? I mean, this was like a long time ago. Was there anyone that stood out in SEO during that time when you were?
Yeah, I remember in the very early days, there was a guy called Dan Thies, and Dan Thies did this thing called SEO Fast Start, and there was the SEO book. and the
Oh yeah,
SEO
the
book
SEO book.
came
Yeah, I remember that
around.
one. Yep, yep.
Yeah, and then that moved on to people like Frank Kern and Mike Filsame.
Mhm.
So it was a little bit more of the marketing, but back in the SEO, it was really sort of more Dan Thies, really. And from that SEO fast start, the way you started to lay stuff out,
Mhm.
I'm getting in now a few years in, but it was like, actually, yeah, you can teach this and you can learn things in a particular way.
Mhm.
And the office that I worked in at the time, we used to do our own personal stuff, which is what I've always loved doing. We'd have some client stuff, we'd do some work during the day, but
Mhm.
then at night we'd do our own stuff. And we found this website called bluehatseo.com.
That sounds
And on
familiar.
this Blue Hat SEO,
Mhm.
oh, the stuff that was on there that this
Yeah.
person was doing, building scraper sites and some of the black hat techniques and some of the stuff we used to get into. I
Mhm.
absolutely loved that, back in the day. One of the things I remember was a tool that they had that would put injections into Google Analytics
Yeah.
to pretend that, or if you looked at the analytics, it looked as though your site had given them a referrer, so
Yeah.
they'd
Yeah.
come and then visit your site, and then you would obviously catch them and get the cookies and and get the data and stuff.
Mhm.
So way back, that was it was good times. There was all sorts
Yeah.
going on back
It was so
in
easy
the
to
early days.
manipulate back then. I remember those tools, and I remember like that
Mm,
blue hat was I think his name was Terry or something, but he ended up starting like WPX, and also you brought
oh,
it back with a SEO book by Aaron Wall. I mean, that's how I actually learned
yeah, that's it. Aaron
SEO.
Wall. Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
how I learned SEO by. And I remember he would put out a PDF. And I would go to like Staples and get it printed, and then he would update it like a week later. And so I have to I was like, oh God. So, all right. But yeah,
Yeah,
great
yeah,
stuff. Great stuff. Okay, now let's get on to the topic of today, which is PPC for SEO. This is a topic dear to my heart because for my life as an SEO, I've also been hired to do PPC for the companies I work for. So this is a great topic. So for those SEOs who never touched Google Ads, how would you define PPC for SEO in simple terms?
You've got more data that you can work with. So when you're doing your PPC, you don't necessarily need to be doing high-end client stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
can use the data in your own campaigns. So when you're working with paid stuff, you get much better information. Back in the day when we first started from an SEO point of view, you used to get the keywords or the search terms in Google Analytics. A number of years ago, Google stopped giving you that data. So yes,
Yep.
you've got Search Console. Yeah, you can make assumptions, you can see things, but you don't know for sure what's going on in a lot of cases. But when you pay for data and you pay for things, you can get that information. So when you find that information from your paid side, when you know these things, then you put that into your SEO. So you're looking at things like keywords, you're looking at times of day, you're looking at the devices, and there's a lot you can do very quick to test. So
Oh,
some of the things that you
yep.
might do in SEO, where you would be saying, let's work on this keyword, let's get the topic right, let's do all of this research, let's do these things because we think this is going to work well, and we've seen this page rise, and we've seen the traffic come through to the page, and we've spoken to the client, and he says the enquiries have gone up. So therefore, the work I've done in the SEO must be affecting the enquiries. You're sort of making that assumption,
Mm-hmm.
and you're also taking a guide from the analytics that you can see. But when you go into the PPC side, you can say exactly which of those keywords it was. You can see more of that journey. You can also then be saying, if that keyword is the one that's really driving those conversions,
Mm-hmm.
is that the one that's driving the traffic? And what you want to do, or certainly what I do, is I then pivot towards the one that are driving conversions, because the one that's driving conversions is often not what's driving all of your traffic. And with PPC, you know that for sure. You get that real data.
Love that. Love it. So you created a course, SEO for PPC. I mean, what were the pain points that came up and problems for SEOs that helped that led you to create these courses?
So I'm not unique,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I'm one of a small group of people that does both PPC and SEO to a certain level, and has been doing it at the time that both of them. If I sat in a room with a load of PPC people, I can have a really decent conversation, and the same with SEO people. So I understand the different mentalities. A lot of the SEO people, when I'm in that SEO world, we don't want to pay for stuff. We've got our own ways of doing things. We know how to do stuff. If I can rank it like this, why would I pay for it? Why would I pay for the traffic? There's this new tool come out that I can do some on-page stuff with. I've got some topical relevance. I can do all these things. So when I'm in the SEO world, it's a completely different mindset. Learning PPC is quite a big and steep learning curve. Plus, there's a cost associated with it. And when you're doing it, because of the way that Google works, unless you know all of these things to cut the cost down and to keep it on track, you can end up spending an awful lot of money for very, very little return. So from the SEO side, there's an awful lot of trepidation and a little bit of distancing at times. And I totally understand that. But from my perspective, what I'm seeing is that as soon as you open up some of that data to a lot of SEO people, they're like, wow, I didn't realize that. And because I can see both worlds, I'm saying to the SEO guys, I'm saying your skills are immediately transferable into PPC. Because you've optimized your page, you understand how it works, you know how to build the pages, you understand keywords, you understand conversions, you understand the tools. There's so many things as an SEO that you understand. And your mindset of trying to manipulate things and make things work for the better, find shortcuts, find all these things out. As an SEO, that is ideal in the PPC world. It's just maybe that you just haven't had the opportunity to show those skills off in a controlled environment.
Yep.
Excellent.
Love that. Okay. So
I'm providing that for them.
I'm curious. You mentioned that SEOs. Obviously SEOs are scared of maybe wasting money. So how do you kind of reframe this to them to that this is a controlled testing budget, for SEO?
So let's say it's Excel. Okay. I use Excel quite a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, but I only know about 2% of Excel. I don't need to know how pivoting these tables work with all these complex formulas. But what I do need to know is that I can use it in this manner, in this way. I do this and I get this result. So I use Excel every day. But if I went into a room with people and they said, teach us all about Excel, I only know this tiny amount about Excel. But the thing is, I know everything that I need to know in order to do that job. So I would say to people on the PPC, you don't need to learn every single thing there is to know about PPC. You don't need to do that. All you need to know is set it up in this way to help you with restricting the spend, if you will, on stuff you don't want to do.
Okay.
This is how you can set it up for what you can control. Okay. You can set your budgets in this way so we can prevent Google from taking more money. So if you've got a budget of $300, we can work with $300. The results that you get will obviously depend on what the sector is and how much the cost per click is and a few other things. But you can keep to that $300. Now, with that $300, if you put $300 into a different tool, a tool that you were getting reporting or analytics or some of that from, you would just be getting that reporting. The $300 in Google Ads, that's $300 worth of traffic that is coming to your site. So straight away, you've got an advantage, because now you're saying the keyword that you were thinking, I can show you how to set that up in a controlled manner. So all of that $300 can be spent on that keyword. So you've now just instantly driven traffic to the website. You can test your landing page, your forms, all of those things immediately. So you've got such an advantage in doing it that way. So that's how I sort of put it to people to, I suppose, get rid of the worry of, wow, PPC is absolutely massive and it takes years to learn. Yes, it does, but you don't need to. Just do the bit you need.
Love that. Okay, let's get a little practical here. Let's try to set up set something up like a landing page or something like that. So like what's like the simplest Google Ads campaign that anyone can set up like right now by to validate keyword intent?
So there's two ways that you could do it.
Okay.
So one way would be a search campaign that worked on keywords, and another way would be a search campaign that just went to the page. So the first one on keywords is a standard search campaign.
Okay.
So you just go in, you set up search campaign, you don't choose any preference at the beginning. Next one you choose search, and it'll walk you through the process. It'll say, what keywords do you want? Do you want AI to help you? No, don't want AI to help me at this point. So I'll ask you for the keywords. No.
Okay.
You can use your own AI to help you external of the ad system. But what's built into the ads, there's a lot of the creation stuff that just runs wild. So you don't really want to use the inbuilt stuff.
Okay.
So you get your keywords. It'll talk you through the process of what headlines and your descriptions. And if you set them as exact match, then from the exact match for that keyword, you know that keyword, that's the traffic that you're going to be sending through. So in its simplistic form, that is pretty much it. Obviously, there's lots of other things that you could do, but that's pretty straightforward.
Love that.
If we move that on to the second one, which is an different ad type. So you'd set it up exactly the same as a search campaign, do your ad group for your search, but then create another ad group. You click on the ad group and it'll say standard when you go to create the ad group. Change that from saying standard to dynamic. And now you're going to set up a dynamic search ad. So a dynamic search ad, you're just going to be sending traffic to the page. So you then just choose the descriptions. You don't choose the headings and the keywords. You just give Google the page, and Google will send the traffic to that page. So if you've already optimized that page, you're already getting traffic for it. You can now send paid traffic, and Google will tell you what the keywords are that were used, and you can track them through for conversions. So that's very easy and quick to set up.
Love that. So would you do both? Can you run both campaigns at the same time? Okay, love that. Okay, so can you let's get a little bit deeper. Like how are you structuring your ad groups, and how many keywords are you adding in there? What's the best practices that you're doing, and keeping things on theme?
So when I used to set these up a few years ago, I had a system that many people called sort of SCAGs, but it was more than SCAGs. I used to run this thing where I called phishing. So for me, I'm known as like the PPC phishing guy. So I would set up broad match. From broad match, you'd then move to phrase match, and phrase match, you'd move to exact match. So you'd find what search terms worked. Once you knew they worked, you'd pull them out, put them into their own campaign, set it up with exact match, and you would run it like that. So you'd maybe end up with 1, 2, or 3 keywords per ad group, but they'd be extremely targeted on what it was that you were going for. So everything is extremely targeted. The way it works now, or the techniques that I use, I'm a little bit more on the topic and on the audience. So to me, the audience and where they are in the journey is far more important than the actual keyword. So when I'm looking to set up, what I want to know is what the pain points are for the person. What are they buying? Why are they buying? What are they looking at? How are they working? What are they interested in? So when I'm then setting up my keywords in my ad groups, there might be 4, 5, maybe 10 different keywords in there. Sometimes they'll be broad match. Sometimes they'll be exact match. It just depends on what the topic is and how tight I can go. Because what I'm after doing is I want Google to work its AI. I want it to start learning, and I want it to start training. So it's a little bit different to the way that we used to do it years ago. So what I'd be doing now is I'd be looking at some of the negatives as they come in, and I call it training. You're sort of training your campaign. So as you see the negatives, you'd get rid of those. You add your positives, but I'd also manipulate the budget. So if I don't like what's going on, I'll drop the budget. I'll put some negatives in. I'll take some keywords out. If I do like what's going on, I'll increase the budget a little bit, and I'll put some wording maybe on the landing page or within the ad copy to match the positive search terms that I'm seeing coming through. So I'm trying to reward it on one side, and I'm trying to say, I don't like that on the other side. So in those early stages, it needs to learn. So it does need some bad as well as good to get the best out of it. It's a little bit frustrating because you've got to spend money, but
Yep.
that's definitely the best way to go.
For those that don't understand what negatives are, especially in PPC, because let's say these are SEOs, what is a negative keyword?
So you can say to the ads that you don't want this keyword to be used. So if you were to say that you were doing, I don't know, say cars, for example, but you don't sell electric cars, you could put in the negative of electric, negative EV, and put in those negatives, and then you'd let it run. So you're now not going to get electric and an EV. As you then see the search terms coming in, it might also be that the search term might be used car. If you only sell new cars, you then make used a negative. But because used cars also leads to second-hand cars and so on, you get a list of all those topical negatives and also add them at the same time. So you're saying, don't do that, do this. I really want these. So
love that. Okay, let's say you have this test campaign set up. How much are you probably spending for this test campaign, and how long are you running it to get the information that you need?
So this is one of those answers which a lot of people hate, which is it depends.
Okay,
it really does. It really does depend.
Okay.
To have any chance of doing anything, if it's a search campaign, you really need to be sort of 10 clicks a day consistently so that you can see what's going on. Now, when you say 10 clicks a day, if you're dealing with the cost that's like $10 a day, then obviously that's $100 a day you're spending. So it can be quite expensive. Some of the clicks are, $50, $100. I've worked in some sectors at times where you're like near $200 per click. Now, in those sectors, obviously 10 clicks a day is a lot of money. So everything is relative to, to what you're doing. If you're getting less than 10 clicks on a search campaign, then you're not really giving yourself enough data to work with. And ideally, you'd want it to be running for a month, although you can get data in a few days. There's some data is going to work and some that isn't, and you'll get those pretty much straight away. So from within a few hours of it running, you've got your absolute yes, your absolute no, and then the ones in between, you've got a little bit longer. And the reason it's a month is you've got weekends. So you want to take weekends into account. Beginning of the month, people have got more money than at the end of the month. So you've got cycles. You've also got businesses that work on budgets, and towards the end of the month, they want to put everything through so they get all their invoicing done. So you've got different things to consider. So ideally, you want to get at least a month of data before making serious decisions, unless you absolutely know it's terrible or perfect.
Love that. Okay, so once we have this data, all this information, what are the 3 metrics that you're looking at to help us guide our SEO strategy?
So first of all is conversions. So you really want to know what the conversions are. From the conversions, you then might be looking at impressions. So if you've got something where let's say there was 5 conversions at the end of a month, but there was only maybe 7 or 8 impressions, that could be that was just a freak, or an oddity that 1 month, because there's not really enough information there to make that decision on. But if the cost of that is very expensive, those 5 conversions, that might have been, say, $50 a click, that might have cost you $250 to get those five conversions. So even though we're aiming at conversions, I wouldn't be making that decision so soon. But the conversions is definitely the main one. The impressions that would follow, you might have other keywords or other search terms that have got really high impressions that you would think these actually should be doing better, because I can see the 5 conversions from these. I've got this set of search terms, the very high impressions, but I've got a low click-through rate on them. So if there's high impressions, and that tells you there's interest, but a low click-through rate doesn't necessarily mean it's no good. What it means is, in the context that people are seeing it, it's not really working. So at that point, because you've got high impressions, that particular keyword is worth doing some investigation with. So I don't just look at the results and go, this is where we are now, let's make that decision. I'd be saying, if you've got high impressions and low click, let's change the ad copy. So that keyword, is it in the first headline of the ad copy? Is it on the landing page when they get there? Are we actually selling what that keyword is? Are we dealing with the user when they've put in that keyword? So there's so many things that would go around that, but the impression number is a surefire that there's definite interest for you to do, further investigation.
Love that. And you're finding all this information by analyzing the search term report, right? Is this what you're looking at for? And so yeah. So for those that don't know where to find this, or or to find this in Google Ads, can you share it's because it's not necessarily just adding your keywords that you added, right? It's a different report that shows all this.
Yeah. So one of the things that quite often is difficult to explain is a keyword and the ad. You're setting up a formula to say to Google, if this and this is correct, then I want my ad to show. So that if being whatever the match type is for that keyword. So if I put in a keyword that is new car, for example, and that is an exact match, anything that's now on topic of a new car, Google is going to give me. In the old days, it would have to be the search term new car, maybe new cars, maybe a misspell. So in the old days, it was a keyword. Now it's more topical. So it'll be a topic of new car. So if I've got an exact match of new car, that does not mean the person searched new car. So what you can do is you can tick the box at the side of the keyword, then it'll turn blue just above where you've ticked, and it'll say search terms. So you can then click search terms, and that will tell you the search terms just for that keyword. So now you can see how that keyword has responded. And because it's topical, you will get variations of new car. So if you go broad match, that is now broad topically for new car. You are going to get all sorts in there. So that's where your negatives come in, where you're trying to guide the algorithm to what you want. So that's the way that I do it on the individual level. But on the left-hand side, on the second column in at the top, you can go to where and when ads showed, and you click into there. That'll then drop down, and you can click search terms, and that'll give you search terms for your entire selection. So whether that be ad group or campaign, and you get your full list. So
love that. Actually, I did not know you can do that on an individual level. So that's great. So a great knowledge bomb right there. And thank you for sharing that. So let's get into turning. Now we have our campaigns running. We spent enough money. We got all the information. And how do we turn? We want to turn these PPC wins into SEO wins now, right? So so what are some things that we can start doing for SEO?
So when you know the search term, so it's not the keyword, it's the search term. So there's a big difference. Okay. And also when you're working in the sort of the Google universe, it readily interchanges things. So it'll have a word for something in one instance. That's then a different word in another instance. So the search term that we want, that search term in Google Ads, that's the thing that people have typed in. So a lot of people would say it's a keyword report. It's all about keywords. It's keywords. It is keywords effectively because they've typed it in. But the keyword in your Google Ads is not what you want. You want the search term. So you take that search term that you found, and then there's a couple of things that you can do very quickly. You can do a check to see. So you do your site colon in your Google search. So do site colon, put in your site, and then in inverted commas, put in that search term and see whether or not that search term is actually on your site. So you can very quickly check to see whether or not that search term that you've now had traffic and conversions for, that you've actually got on your site. You can also run that in your search console. So do the filter, put the filter up, see whether or not you've had traffic for that search term. If you have had traffic for that search term, then check which page the traffic came from. If you've got multiple pages that's then telling you that actually you've got a little bit of cannibalization going on. So the search term that you're going for, you now need to optimize it in that manner, because you don't want it across 3 or 4 different pages. You absolutely want that winning page. So now focus on that page. So then you can go back to your PPC, set up on your PPC that the landing page that you're going for is the one that you're now going to be optimizing. So you can now send exactly that paid traffic for that search term direct to that page that you want in your SEO. So now you're going to be sending traffic to it for the search term. You're also then going to be doing your optimizing for that same search term. So now it's possible that you can pick up the number 1 spot in the PPC in the sponsored results. You could also pick up a spot in your GBP in your maps if you've got that term in there and you're optimizing for that. And you could also pick up number 1 in your SEO. So now you take effectively 3 spots because you're optimizing and getting all those things together from that one term. So that's how you can do that, and go backwards and forwards. Don't just do it once. You want to go backwards and forwards and check that.
Got it, guys. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them in live chat. So I'm curious also, like, how about when you see like good like headlines and ads and stuff like that? You use that for you use those also in like meta titles and meta descriptions too, right? Or you kind of use that, transfer that? Is that kind of like what you teach also?
Yeah. So when you're doing the testing, so on the paid side, you can test very quickly. So one of the things that I don't do is I don't follow a lot of what Google tells you to do in ads terms.
Okay.
So a lot of people will look at my account and they'll say they're no good because your optimization score is poor. You've only got like a 60% optimization score. You're not following the recommendations, and all of your ads are poor. That's the vast majority of my accounts, because what poor means, poor isn't poor. Poor is just a label that Google gave that setup structure. So in that setup structure, if you say, I only want 3 headlines, and I'm going to pin position 1, 2, and 3, I absolutely know what's going to appear at position 1. So in position 1 for headline 1, you want the keyword that you're going for, because that's been proven over and over that if your keyword is in headline 1 and it's bolded, that'll improve your click-through rate.
Yeah.
Click-through rate is part of the ranking algorithm that helps with your score and reduces your costs. So if you've got high click-through rates, then you're gonna do better. So the first thing is, I only ever have 3 headlines. So from those 3 headlines, your first one is your keyword.
Yeah.
Your second one might be a feature stroke benefit, and the third one is hardly ever seen. I hardly ever use 3 positions. And then on the descriptions, I'll put 2 descriptions in. So one description would be informational, and the second one would have the call to action, and I fix the positions, position 1 and position 2. So you absolutely just nail. And then you can set up 3 different ads that talk in a slightly different way, that are all set onto the same landing page. So that way then you're actually testing the ads, like in the old days when you could set them up. So I run this 3 ad system. And in the 3 ad system and your campaign settings, you turn off the optimization to make sure that it doesn't favor the best performing ad. So the 3 are going to run equally. And then after a period of time, the 3rd ad, or the worst performing ad, you rewrite that ad and try and improve it. And then in a few weeks' time, the worst performing ad, try and improve it. You can only have 3 now. You used to be able to have loads. You can only have 3. So run that 3 ad system so you work in your ads. So then when you work in your ads and you're testing that content and that copy I want to see near the call to action button that's on the page. So from that call to action button, you've just tested that wording. So you want to try and get that wording on there so you've got that match and that flow.
I love that. Okay, let's go talk about a little bit more about micro conversions, right? I mean, because there's some other things from PPC, like the time on site, scroll depth, button clicks. How are you using this as signals, for existing content, right, on your site?
So with the conversions, I look at it as an entire journey. So
Okay.
in this entire journey, you've got the person that's either on the phone or they're sat at the keyboard, and they start and they then type in something. And I'm asking Google to show my ad under certain circumstances. So that circumstance might be it matches my keyword, or it matches an audience in a different campaign type. But to keep it simple, let's keep it to search, and someone searched and then they've clicked on it. So when someone searches, Google's going to show my ad to a given person. So they click the ad, they come through to the web page, and then once they're on the web page, they're then going to take an action or not. So Google's now got all this information about these micro conversions. So it's got this entire list of events. So what happens if I've only set a conversion goal to be a thank you page after they've completed a form? So let's say they've searched for it. I think it's a good keyword. They've looked around on the site, but they didn't fill in the contact form. So now I don't get the conversion thank you. So if I've only set up thank you as a conversion, I've missed in a way. So there's then a tendency to go back to the ads report and start getting rid of keywords that have driven traffic and cost me money but haven't converted. Now, during that process, at no point did anybody say, do you not think it might be your contact form? Do you think you've missed your messaging? Have you realized that all these people who are coming through are on an Android phone, and they can't fill your contact form in on an Android phone because the button's off the bottom? So have you ever looked at that or thought about that? Because your decision now is to get rid of the keyword, whereas actually what Google was doing was providing your ad in front of someone that's highly likely to have converted, but they just couldn't. So what I set micro conversions up for is I want a journey. So the landing page will have the messaging, and there'll be a button on that page. So they click the button and they go to the next page where they fill in the form. And upon completion of the form, they go to the final page. So what we've got is an action, a form fill, and a thank you. So on a micro conversion level, someone that's taken a positive action, i.e. they click the button to go from the initial page to the next page, I might assign a value of, say, $10 to that person. Once they've completed the form, that conversion action, I'm going to apply maybe $100 or $150 to that conversion, because I want Google to keep sending me people that are interested and get into that second stage. I then take that upon me to get more people from that second stage to the third stage, because it might be the wording, it might be the form's too long, too short. What it absolutely doesn't mean, if they don't get to the end, that the keyword's no good. In some instances, yes, it could be the keyword, it could be the ad copy, but I'm not immediately jumping to that conclusion because they don't complete my form. So what the micro conversions do is they tell you the story of the journey that's being made. And the more you can get them into the journey, the more you can make decisions and tweaks and changes to try to move them further along. And it could be that you've just changed one thing on that contact form. Maybe the contact form said submit, and you changed it from submit to download PDF. And on that change, you've just transformed the performance of that keyword.
Got it, guys. We're coming close to time here, so if you have any questions, go ahead and ask in live chat. So let's go into more of some technical stuff. Like, okay, so in order for us to track these micro conversions, we need to set up things correctly. Like you mentioned events. So like even before we do anything, this is something that we should do. Like, is this setting something up within GA4 or within ads? Like what are some things that we have to make sure we pay attention to make sure
So what I teach for the SEO side of things is that I want people to use what they're comfortable with. So if you want a conversation about conversion tracking, we can have that conversation, but I don't want to go in right at the front and say, here's all this complicated conversion tracking that you need to do. So as an SEO person, it's highly likely that you've got Google Analytics set up. If you've got Google Analytics already set up, maybe you haven't got a thank you page, put a thank you page in. If you do have a thank you page, then you can go into Google Analytics and you can set that as an event. So you can very quickly set a custom event. You can put a page view and you can make that a key event. And by moving the slider to make it a key event, it'll now become available. So providing you've got your Google Ads set up to your Google Analytics and you've ticked the box to share the data, you'll now see that key event. So jumping into Google Ads, you can then go into Google Ads, new conversion, import conversion, and you choose that event. So that's going to give you an easy win. Ultimately, though, there's a lot more to the conversion tracking side, and the AI now works so much better with these conversions. So I would spend so much more time on conversions and conversion tracking now than I've ever done in the past. So initially it was, can I just track that thank you page? But now I want to know, can I get the values from phone calls? Can I feed the values back from that contact form? Yes, it's a lot more work. It's a bit more complicated, but the AI is learning from this.
Got it.
So if the AI is going to learn on the value and what you're giving it, that's where you want to be spending a lot of your time to get set up before you dive into these things and jump into the keywords. The conversion tracking is absolutely critical to the success of your campaigns.
Love that. Calling Larry, say this is good. I'm still stuck on the old way of doing. You mentioned earlier. Me too. I'm actually learning some new ideas of setting up my campaigns. And speaking of setting up campaigns, is there a specific way you set up campaigns and ad groups to stay organized? Does this really matter? I'm just curious because I know there can be a battle with whether you set up a certain way. And does it make a difference?
Yeah. So a bit like a lot of things in SEO. We'd have a debate in SEO, and you say you would rank a page doing X, Y, and Z, and I'd do it doing A, B, and C, and we're both right. Yeah. But at the same time, we're both wrong because we've got a different view on it, and it's the same in paid ads. So people do SCAGs, and they still do all that sort of setup, and they would swear by it and say, "I still get results," and that's fine. I used to do that. Yeah,
I still do
my
that,
results. My results stopped. How can I say? They stopped performing as well as what I would have liked.
Okay.
So I then started to go with some of these newer things.
Yeah.
And believe me, I'm not one for spending money on Google Ads if I don't have to. I use it because it's good and I get all this, and I do spend a lot of money, but I'm not wasting money. Just because Google says turn this on and turn this on, I'm not doing that. I want to test it. I want to check it. I want to understand it. I want to put the guardrails in. So where I used to do the sort of SCAG setup and I'd do my fishing, I want to move people along. You used to have the thing that you could accelerate your budget. Remember that back in the day?
Yeah.
Sort of about 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Instead of it standard, it would spend all day. You could accelerate the budget. So if you got an exact match in a campaign, you'd put accelerate budget, you'd put a maximum amount of budget on that one, you'd absolutely crush it. But now you can't do that because the bidding that they're trying to use, the bidding and the AI understanding, they're moving forwards at a rapid rate. So these old ways of working, of you having the control, I was finding I wasn't getting the same level of results. So the way I do it is I try to keep it tight. The ad groups should always be tight. Don't put loads of different keywords in because you're going to be doing negatives forever in a day. You'll be bored of your negatives. So it's the same principles. But I work with a different bidding. So I start with max clicks. Once I'm getting clicks through and I've done all my initial training, I see it as a training phase. Just like you've just got a new dog.
Okay.
Well, with this new dog, it's not immediately going to start playing fetch and pee outside and eat its dinner out the bowl. You've got to train it. So when I get this new dog, I want it to understand it can't do this and it can't do this. Because in the medium and long term, I'm going to get far better results than just diving in going this. So where I've got the scope to do that, then I will. If budget's really tight, then I am just going to go exact match in those keywords, and I just want traffic for those keywords.
Love it. Great knowledge bombs shared right now. So I want to leave some time for you to talk about your courses that you have, right? You have is it 2 live courses that you have going on? Are you happy? Can you just give us a little more information about it? I put the links in the live. I put the links in the description and in the live chat, guys. But this, I would love for you to kind of explain what people expect.
Yeah, so PPC for SEO is a little bit of a play on words. So the first course that finished a few weeks ago, this is PPC for people who are SEOs, but also to help your SEO. So this is finding out the data, minimal setup, but finding the data that you can use in your SEO campaigns. So that's what that first course was about.
Okay.
So I'm really speaking to SEO people who are saying, actually, I've been doing my SEO for a long time. I didn't realize this information was available. And now that I can add it to my SEO side, that's really good. I didn't know that keyword. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So the first course was about doing that and showing people it's not difficult to do. It's maybe just that you don't know it because you haven't done it. So don't be afraid of this big machine. Just set it up and go X, Y, and Z, and that'll deliver that information for you. So that's what the first course was about.
Okay.
So the PPC for SEO, the play on words, that is, it's PPC for SEO people, for the SEO industry.
Yeah.
Because on the one side, I'm an SEO person that thinks like an SEO person, does SEO and works in SEO. And on the other side, I'm a paid ads person. So I understand from a paid ads point of view what you can do and what's available. And from an SEO, I understand the frustrations. So I sort of hit both.
Yeah.
So the second course, the one that's just about to start on Wednesday, that's a fast track PPC. So that's aimed at SEO people that have maybe dipped their toe in the water with the PPC or never done it at all. And I'm just saying, this is how you can run PPC for your clients as an extra service or for your affiliate stuff. So I'm not teaching in this one how to take that data across to the SEO, but if you're an SEO person, you can probably see some of the things that you would do. But this is more about how to get your PPC campaigns working. And a lot of it is setting up and the understanding of how I sort of run things. Because when you set things up, it's not just the technological side. So from a technology side, you could say, well, why don't I just go on the Google training or go on this and set the campaign up like this, this, and this? Well, you can do that, and everybody can do that. It's not just the technical, it's the understanding of why you're choosing that keyword, why you're putting in that ad copy, what you're using as your landing page, why you're doing your conversions like that. So I'm giving this fast track. This is how I do it to get results for my clients. So you can come along and say, can we try this? Yes, of course we can.
Okay.
And part of the training is that it's live. So we're actually going to be using ppcforseo.com as a live site so you can see everything, what and all. We'll do the setup on it. We'll do the different campaign types. You can see the decisions that then get made. You can see the changing on the website. So at the moment, there's some mistakes on there, sort of deliberately, the way that it's set. So we're going to change the wording. We're going to change. That's going to be a full journey all the way through, and you'll be able to see that over that 4 weeks. So it's live training. It's on Wednesday. I just checked the time. I think it's 1 p.m. EST. Don't quote me on that. You better just check on the notes because I'm UK time. And then there's going to be 2 live webinars as well in between. And the first webinar in between the training is on the first Monday, because on this first session on Wednesday, I'm going through the conversion tracking. And in the conversion tracking, I know there's a lot of questions and a lot of setup. And I want to make sure everybody's fully set up and get the most out of the course. So the 2 courses, they don't run together. I do one and then the other one and then one and then the other one. So that's the process. So the next SEO one is starting in January. I believe it's the 12th of January, the next one.
Got it. So you can actually use code capital DRE 750, capital DR, then lowercase ER, Dre 750 for $750 off. How much is the actual course? I mean, because that is a generous amount. That's a generous amount discount, but what's the course amount?
Yeah, the course is 16. I think it's 1697. I'm not actually sure exactly. It's 1697, I think, for the full price. But as sort of affiliate and whatever, you get healthy discount for your listeners and your viewers. So
love it. Yeah, guys, $750 off. That's capital D lowercase RE 750.
It'd be $997. They'd be paying, I believe.
All right, there we go. Love it. Okay, so we are at time. This is the last question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. If someone wants to get to the SEO industry today, what would your advice be to them?
Just go out and do it. Just get a website, set up a website in any way possible. So whether that's on one of the cheap ones, you can do a WordPress. purchase hosting, do the cheapest one. Just do anything and just get started. Don't go straight into clients. Don't go diving into put hours and hours into courses because you don't know who to follow. We've all got our own ways of doing things. So if you've listened to this and you've listened to what I've done, and yesterday you listened to someone else who had a different opinion, you now might be thinking, oh, I don't know what to do. Just get it set up. Go to the absolute basics, which you can get from Google. Just go to Google's basics and just start playing and learning, and you'll find your way. Once you've done it a little bit, then go online and start listening to things, stuff like you've got a sort of Fight Club, you've got various people, there's sort of your show, there's various people you can listen to. But having done a little bit yourself and doing your own work, you'll now start to understand what they're saying. So then you can work out, do I think keyword density is important? Do I think that's important? Do I think maybe images are important? You test it and check your own results, because you cannot beat your own work and your own results in testing. That would be what I would advise.
Love it. And you can visit, is it ppc4seo.com is the general's
Correct.
website? Yeah, ppc4seo.com. Again, the code is in the live chats and in the description to check that out. So thank you so much, everyone. Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you. Enjoyed that. It was good. That was good.
All right, Derek, can you hold on for one quick second? Hold on for one quick second. All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO video show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to visit our sponsor, tryprofound.com. Till next time, I will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!